All right, let's get right into it. Today, we're going to step inside the front office. We're going to break down how the exact same strategies that build a championship winning NBA team can be the playbook you need to build your own wealth. So let's kick this off with a big question. What if you could actually approach your finances with the same strategic mind as, say, a legendary NBA general manager? Just think about it for a sec. The scouting, the draft picks, the long-term vision. It's a really powerful analogy, and it's going to be our guide for everything we talk about today. Okay, so let's start with the most important piece of the puzzle, the mindset. You've got to stop thinking of yourself as just some fan in the stands and start seeing yourself as the person in charge, the one who's actually calling the shots. This right here is the core idea. You are the general manager of your own wealth. Every single stock, every fund, every asset you own, that's a player on your team. And that big financial goal you have, whether it's retiring, buying a house, whatever, that's your championship trophy. Your entire job is to assemble a roster that can actually go out and win it. Now, before we start scouting any players, let's just make sure we're all working with the same definition here. At its heart, investing is really simple. You're using your money to buy something you believe is going to be worth more in the future. See, it's not about gambling or getting lucky. It's about making calculated decisions to make your money work for you, just like a GM makes calculated roster moves. Every great GM knows you can't build a team if you don't understand the talent that's out there. So our first step has to be scouting. We need to know what kind of players, or in our case, accounts, are available for us to draft onto our team. Let's look at our two-star players. On the left, we've got the brokerage account. Think of this as your team's MVP. It's super versatile, really flexible, and it's perfect for those goals that are kind of medium to long term, like saving for a down payment or maybe even retiring a little early. Then on the right, you've got the Roth IRA. This is your Hall of Famer. This is your retirement specialist. The money in here grows completely tax-free, so when you finally hoist that trophy in retirement, it's all yours. The catch? You really can't touch it till you're at least 59 and a half. Two very different players for two very different strategies. All right, scouting's done. You know your players. Now for the most exciting part, draft night. It's finally time to actually build your team. And the number one rule of draft night, the one thing that every single successful GM lives by, is this: diversify or die. Yeah, it sounds a little harsh, I know, but it is absolutely crucial. You just can't build a championship team around one single superstar. If you do, you're way, way too vulnerable. What this really means is you have to spread your draft picks all across the board. Think of different market sectors like different positions on the court. You need some players in tech, some in consumer goods like restaurants, and you need a mix of company sizes, right? You need your reliable large-cap veterans, your growing mid-caps, and your high-potential small-cap rookies. A balanced roster is always a resilient roster. And here's why that's so important. We all like to think we can pick the next big thing, right? The next generational talent. But the honest truth is, you can't. Nobody can, not consistently. Even the smartest GMs in the world miss on draft picks. The goal isn't to pick that one single winner. It's to build a team so strong that you win no matter which one of your players has a breakout season. Which kind of brings us to this, let's just say, memorable motto for broad diversification. Beastful. Buy everything and shut the... Well, you get the idea. The logic is actually pretty simple. Instead of trying to find the one needle in the haystack, why not just buy the whole haystack? Just own a tiny piece of everything through low-cost funds. Okay, so drafting a great team is one thing, but guiding that team through all the ups and downs of a long 82-game season or, years of market cycles, that's a whole other ballgame. This is where your psychology really comes into play. Look, the championship strategy isn't about making flashy, high-risk trades every single day. It's all about discipline. First, you invest consistently over a long, long time. Second, you reinvest all your earnings. Think of this like your players hitting the gym in the off-season, just compounding their skills. And third, and we've hammered this home, you diversify to manage your risk. But here it is. This is the question that keeps every GM and every investor awake at night. What do you do when your team hits a brutal losing streak? What do you do when the market is in a total freefall and everyone is screaming, sell, sell, sell? This is what happens. We panic. We let fear completely take over the driver's seat. We trade away our best players for pennies on the dollar because we're convinced the team is doomed. And honestly, it's the single biggest mistake an investor can possibly make. And this is why diversification isn't just an offensive strategy, it's your best defense. I mean, just look at this. During a big market crash, a single stock, your one-star player, can plummet a staggering 70 to 90%. They get injured, right? Their career could be over. But your diversified fund, your whole team, it might only drop around 37%. Yeah, it still hurts, but your team is still on the court and they're ready to make a comeback. Now, here's the elite GM move. When everyone else is panicking, when they're throwing the baby out with the bathwater, that is when you can find some incredible value. Buying when there's blood in the streets, sure, it's a high-risk play, but it can completely flip that risk-reward relationship in your favor. It's like trading for a superstar when their value is at an all-time low just because of a temporary slump. So we've covered the mindset, the scouting report, the draft strategy, and how to handle the long, grueling season. Now the ball is in your court. It's time for you to make your first move as the general manager. So here it is, your game-winning play broken down into 3 really simple steps. First, define your championship. What are you actually playing for? And what's your timeline? Second, based on that goal, you choose your player. Do you need the flexibility of that brokerage MVP, or do you need the long-term power of the Roth IRA Hall of Famer? And third, this is the most crucial step of all. Just get in the game. You can have the best strategy in the world, but it means absolutely nothing if your players are sitting on the bench. You've got to open the account. So there you have it. You have the playbook. You know the players, you know their strengths, and you know the rules of the game. So I'll leave you with this one question to think about. As the newly appointed general manager of your own wealth, what's your first draft pick going to be?